So just sitting wherever you feel comfortable sitting. If it's in the chair or on the floor, it doesn't matter to me, but make sure that you're sitting tall. So not leaning back on the chair, just kind of sitting forward using all those core muscles, all those trunk muscles that we need to use. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and just breathe in and out through your nose. Now remember, as the weather gets warmer, if you get overheated, you can exhale through pursed lips, and that will help to cool you down. So, but just breathe, and we'll start with our traditional song on the harmonium. Continue to rest and breathe with your eyes closed. And of course, if there's ever a time when you feel uncomfortable closing your eyes, if it makes you dizzy or lightheaded, then just open the eyes. But closing the eyes helps us to quiet our minds. It also challenges the vestibular system, the inner ear, which there's usually some issues with that, with MS. Continue to just focus on your breath. Notice as you deepen the inhale and deepen the exhale, how you start to feel just a little differently. And that's why we call this yoga Breath of Life Yoga. Because if you change your breath, you change your life. So then opening your eyes when you're ready, and begin to make your way towards standing or sitting on the chair. So everybody has a chair, and you'll see that I will sit occasionally during class. So feel free to sit when you need to sit. You can always come to class and sit for the entire class. So we're going to start just by warming up. So just shaking out the arms and the legs. And I like to imagine that I'm shaking out the tension from the day. There's a little bit more tension today than that's my heart. Maybe it is. And then bringing your feet directly below the hips. So when your feet are directly below the hips, that's the most stable base of support, whether you're standing or sitting. So remember that I said that to you. That's very important. And we'll do a little more warm-up. So now we're just going to swing the arms a little. Your gaze can be straight ahead or you can watch the hands if you feel like you want to challenge your balance a little more. I hardly ever do that because that's not something that feels comfortable for me generally. So just feeling a gentle twist. So certainly this is a warm-up, and you wouldn't want to overdo a twist of the spine at the beginning of class. And you can keep the feet right where they are, or the next time the right arm comes to the left leg, you can pick it up. And then the left arm coming to the right leg. So this is a little tricky, and you don't have to pick your legs up. One of the reasons this is tricky is because you're using both sides of the brain at the same time. I'm glad you don't have to talk. And then bending the knees as if you're marching. And keeping the feet planted. And then just allow the arms to come to your side. See if you can stand or sit wherever you are and close your eyes. Of course, standing and closing your eyes is a little more difficult, so be aware of that. Bringing your attention when you close your eyes to what we call the third eye. So the third eye is between the eyebrows and the center of the brain. That just gives you a place to focus even with the eyes closed. So your eyes are quiet, your mind is going to quiet just a little more. So every time we pause and close our eyes, bring your attention to the third eye. And then opening your eyes. So we'll prepare for the 4-part warm-up breath next. And again, you want to check the feet. You want to have the feet directly below the hips. So I'm just going to do a couple. So some of our new people will see what they're getting themselves into here. You do want to keep your eyes open for this so that you don't lose your balance. So it looks like this. You inhale about 1/3 of a breath. Inhale a little more. This is through the nose. Inhale the rest of the way. Open the mouth. And you let it out. Okay? So we'll do a few of those, and after the final one, I'll say last one. And you can just stay in a forward bend. Do make sure that your eyes are open, though. So just join me when you feel ready. So breathing up, out, up. Just resting forward in ragdoll. So make sure that you're tucking the chin, your eyes are open, you do not have to touch your toes. Keeping your legs as straight as you can without locking the knees, and of course you're going to feel a stretch through the back of the legs. So stretching out the hamstrings, very important. Those are muscles that need a stretch for almost everybody, but if you have MS, certainly they do. It's okay to kind of shift the weight from side to side, a little bit of gentle movement. So forward bends, which we're doing now, are more relaxing. Back bends are more energizing. So we tend to do a mix of poses in class, but when you're practicing on your own, you can do more of one or the other depending on what you need that day. Now very slowly begin to rise up. Pull the stomach muscles in. Use close your abs very, very slowly. It's harder, of course. Once you're upright, feeling the crown of the head reaching up, relax the shoulders, close your eyes, come to the third eye. So this is Amrit Yoga. In Amrit Yoga, we have a Hatha Yoga pose, which we just did. And then we have the second half of the pose, which is Raja Yoga, which is meditation. That's what we're doing now. There's a meditative aspect after each pose. It's also nice to have a little break in between the poses. And then opening your eyes. So we're going to move into sun salutation. For sun salutation, we're going to keep the feet in one place. So it's a little different from what some of you may have done traditionally. Bring the feet a little closer together, but not so close that you really feel like you're losing your balance. Bringing the hands into prayer. So I'm going to go through one, and then we're going to do 7 of them. If you get tired with this or any other pose, you can always stop and move into the second half. So please do that. So just watch the first sun salutation, and then we'll do some together. So that's our modified sun salutation. So we'll do the first one slowly, so you can kind of start in, and then the next 6 will be a little more quickly. So inhaling up, firming through the hips and inner thighs, lifting the chin, opening the heart, lifting the heart. Breathe full breath in and out through the nose. And then on an exhale, coming down, bend the knees, the hands on the thighs, pulling the abs in, breathing in and out here. Inhale into upward dog and breathing here. Exhale, downward dog and breathing here. And then inhaling up, second sun salutation. Hold the breath in. Exhale down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhaling up and into the third sun salutation. Hold the breath in. Exhaling down. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhaling up and into the fourth sun salutation. Hold the breath in. Exhale down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhaling up into number 5. Hold the breath in. Exhale down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhaling up into 6. Hold the breath in. Exhaling down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhaling up, final sun salutation. Hold the breath in. then inhaling up and into standing mountain. The hands in prayer, shoulders relaxed, crown of the head reaching up, attention at the third eye. So notice what you feel. Gurudev talks about feeling the flood of energy, and after sun salutation or during it, you probably notice that. You feel a little more awake. Probably notice your heart. So relax deeply, doing nothing. So in the second half of the pose, the prana that you built up in the first part then goes where it needs to go. That's pretty awesome. So we don't have to do anything except relax, but sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, of course. And then opening the eyes. So we'll move into Tadasana next. So checking the feet, still having them fairly close, but not so close that you're going to topple over. Firming through the hips and inner thighs, not locking the knees, bringing the hands into temple. And inhale up into Tadasana. See if you can hold this, but still relax your shoulders. Of course, the shoulders are activated here to bring the arms up this high, but relaxing the shoulders, using your exhale to relax just a little more. And then on an exhale, coming down and just resting. Either the hands can be in prayer or at your side. It's important the second half of the pose to be in some position that's most restful. And remember,